Okay, good evening, everyone. So, welcome to CLLST YouTube channel. And today we are going to talk about the CLAT 2021 undergraduate application form filling. Before I start the session, let me take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy new year on behalf of the entire CL family. So, as you all know, CLAT date has been notified, but I am sure I have already started getting questions whether it will be postponed. It's a speculation, but yes, given the board exam schedule, CBSE board has already given the dates, which is going to start on 4th of May and continues till 10th of June. Similarly, the West Bengal board has already confirmed that the board will start in the month of June. So it is likely that the exams are going to be delayed by at least a month. So CLAT, even at the earliest, should happen somewhere around third week of June. But yes, notification in this regard will definitely come from the CLAT authorities. They have already mentioned that it may be subject to change when they notified about the CLAT 2021. So I'm sure that answers your question. Let's move on to the session today, and that's about the CLAT 2021 application form filling. The most important aspect this year is they have done away with the preference part as far as the national universities are concerned. So you have to give your preferences about the national universities only once the results are declared. So right now you are not bothered about what should be your preference. So don't worry, we'll be doing a separate session on that once the CLAT results will be declared after the exam is held. So that would be required at the time of counseling. So that change they had introduced in the year 2020 and they continue with that actually. So that makes the entire process quite simple actually. So let's start with the session and let's go ahead and see how the application form is to be filled and what are the few things which you need to take care of. So before you start, before you register for CLAT 2021, here are the few things which you need to take care of. Of course, your mobile and email ID is both important, but right now you need basically your mobile number because when you register for CLAT 2021, they will be giving you an OTP, a one-time password will come to your number and that you have to feed to register actually. So your mobile becomes one of the most important tool, no doubt, as far as CLAT registration is concerned. And your number is going to be your login ID for future as well. Also, you need to have a scanned copy of your photograph as well as your signature in the given format, which is JPEG and PNG. So these are the two formats they have notified. So you need to have your scanned photograph. They have not notified anything about the size of the image. So ideally, it should be somewhere around 100 KB, 100 to 150 KB should be good enough. But you must scan your photograph. You must have your photograph scanned using a light background. Actually, that would be really helpful. Your photographs should be very, very clear because it has to be put on the admit card, and the exam being offline, your admit card is one of the most important document. Other than the students who belong to general category, if you happen from any of the three categories, if you belong to scheduled caste or scheduled tribe or other backward classes, you also need to keep your PDF copy of your caste certificate ready, and the size of that should not be greater than 1.5 MB. So that is something which you need to have beforehand before you start applying the CLAT 2021. If you are applying under the persons with disability category, then the competent authorities issued certificate is also required. Same goes goes for the BPL category students. So if you are from the below poverty line category, then your certificate should also be ready because that needs to be uploaded. So it is important that if you come from any particular category and using that category, if you're applying the CLAT 2021, then you must have those certificates ready. Don't take any chances that you right away upload any document and later on you can change that, because once the application is submitted, you can't do any changes and that would be considered final. You should not go and fill the form at one go. If you are confused at any point of time, it's not required. The last date as of now is March 31st. So we have enough time. We have almost 3 months to complete the process. Don't need to worry at all. You may take a day or two to complete the entire process. You get your documents ready, get your photograph ready, get your signature ready, the scanned copy of it. And once everything is in place, then you start filling the application form. because the cost of the form is quite high. So it's almost 4,000 rupees. So you must not take chances with that, because it's a hard-earned money of your parents. So that is the part you should be really, really careful. There is no hurry which is required over here as far as CLAT 2021 application is concerned. So the first process while you are applying for CLAT 2021 is to register yourself. So whether you wrote CLAT 2021 and you are whether you wrote CLAT 2020 and you are retaking it in CLAT 2021, you still need to register yourself. So your previous login ID will not work over here. You need to change your password over here. So for that, what you have to do is you have to register, where you get the tab over here, which is on register. So just below the login, you will find a tab for register. So that's the first process. That's the step one when you are registering or applying for CLAT 2021. So once you have registered yourself, once you have clicked on that, then a new tab will open up, which will ask your name. So you have to give your complete name over here, your mobile number, your email ID, and you have to create your password here itself. So once you create that password, that is something which you are going to use in future when you are logging for your admit card and for your other details. So after you have filled in all the credentials, you need to register, and the moment you click on register, you will be receiving a one-time password OTP on your mobile. That OTP has to be fed. Once you have received that OTP, that has to be fed, and then your registration process will be complete. Once your registration process is complete, you have to re-log in. Now, using your mobile number and your password, which you created for yourself, you have to re-log in now, and then you'll have to select undergraduate. So because remember, you have to select undergraduate over here, and that is the tab given out here. So you have to select undergraduate. So if you're applying to BLLB, BBLLB, whatever programs the NLUs are offering after class 12. So right now you have to select the undergraduate. You should not select postgraduate. That is for somebody who's already a lawyer and wants to take up LLM as a program at national law universities. Once you have clicked on that checkbox, go for apply for CLAT 2021. So that process is simple, not very difficult till now. So from here onwards, you have to fill the application credentials actually. So the first information which you have to provide is your personal information. Your personal credentials has to be input over here. So your photograph has to be uploaded, your signature has to be uploaded, and then your app name has to be uploaded in the same manner as it appears on your class 12th board certificate. If you are appearing for class 12th, majority of you would be, then you must use your admit card. I'm sure that is not available right now. So you can use your class 10 certificate as a reference, because this time the boards are delayed. So I'm sure there is no admit card available right now. So you can't refer anything from class 12, but then you can definitely refer your class 10 certificate, because the same will go for class 12 as well. So you have to give your full name over here. You have to select your gender. Be careful, people commit mistake while selecting the gender. Unintentionally it happens actually, because many a times when you are picking things from the drop down, when you are moving ahead, the tab may may not work properly, and then it might get changed. So you have to be really, really careful. Then you have to select your date of birth from the drop down. You have to input your father's name and your mother's name. You have to select your nationality. So that will be Indian from the drop down. Now, from here onwards, there are few things which you need to take care of. The next question, which is about resident status. Now, that is applicable for someone who basically wants to apply under the NRI sponsored category. So that is something that information is required. So if you belong to, if you happen to be an NRI, if you happen to be an OCI, if you happen to be a person of Indian origin, so in that case, you have to select accordingly from the drop down. Else, you have to go ahead and that information you have to select from the drop down if applicable. If not, select no and go ahead. Then you have to select your all India category. Here you'll be getting few options like general, SC, ST, and OBC. So these are the 4 options available. Whatever category you select as applicable to you, there will be a further question which will be appearing out there. So if you belong to a general category, if you select general over there, then you'll be getting another question which will come suddenly, and that will be about whether you belong to economically weaker section. Remember, EWS category applies only for the general category. And if you fulfill, if you already have the certificate, then you have to select a yes or no as far as the EWS question is concerned. If you select in the All India category, either SC, ST, or OBC, as your case may be, then you'll have to upload your certificate copy in the PDF format. And remember, as I mentioned earlier, that size of the PDF document should not be more than 1.5 MB. So you have to resize your document if it is greater than that. So that thing you have to be careful actually. So you have to understand. Now, before I go ahead, I would like to talk about the horizontal reservation, which is provided to female students out here. Because the moment you select your gender out there, the very point you select your gender, and if you mention female out there, then you'll get a reservation benefit in some of the NLUs which are listed here on your screen. So Nalsar Hyderabad, NLIU Bhopal, GNLU Gandhinagar, HNLU Raipur, and Lucknow, MNLU Mumbai and Aurangabad provide a 30% horizontal reservation, except Lucknow, which is about 20% horizontal reservation. Whereas DSNLU Vishakhapatnam provides 33.3% horizontal reservation for women of Andhra Pradesh in the respective category itself, for the seats which are reserved for the students belonging to the state of Andhra Pradesh. So there is a benefit out there. If you're a female candidate, I'm sure you must be happy now after listening to this. So when you are selecting female, you get that benefit of reservation out here. Moving ahead, so as I mentioned, so if you are filling the form in the general category, you have to answer whether you belong to the EWS category or not. If you are from SC, ST, or OBC category, then accordingly you have to upload your document. Similarly, if somebody is from PWD category, he may be from any of the All India category and may still be a PWD category student. Similar, you have to select a yes or no from the drop down. Same applies for the BPL category. Now, the most important part here is to select the domicile status. Now, why domicile status is important? Because most of the national universities, barring few of them, barring couple of them at the moment, most of the national universities provide some sort of reservation, whether it is applicable to general category or not, but definitely to other categories. They have almost to the extent of 50% seats reserved for the students belonging to their state. So it becomes really, really important as far as domicile status is concerned, or domicile state is concerned. Now, you must have your document in place. It can't be like you just go and random fill anything out here. So your domicile, if you are claiming to be a domicile of a particular state, then it is important that you must have the certificate, because the same has to be produced at the time of counseling, at the time of admission, without which your admission can be cancelled as well. So you have to be really, really careful, especially from these for the students who belong to those states where reservations are applicable for the students of that state. So this is the most important aspect as far as the personal information is concerned. Now, as I mentioned, so you may apply the form also as NRI sponsored, or an OCI candidate, or a PIO candidate. Right now, at this point of time, you don't have an option given as NRI sponsored. So if you're applying through NRI sponsored at the same time, so you can be from any All India category, you can be a general category student, but you can even apply through NRI sponsored category. Now, if you're applying through that NRI sponsored category, from the given form, you have to select from the drop down, you have to select NRI, because they are not specifically mentioned NRI sponsored. So select NRI as the option. The e-brochures given by the respective institutions do mention NRI sponsored seats and the number of seats available for such category of applicants. Now, you also need to understand, once you have selected NRI as your candidature along with whatever All India category you belong to, you also need to apply separately to the respective NLU where you want your NRI sponsored or OCI PIO category to be considered for admission. Now, in such cases, what happens? The CLAT authorities, the consortium will come out with two different rankings. One definitely will be all India ranking. And if you have applied through NRI category, you'll be also getting a NRI sponsored rank as well. And basis that, your admissions through this category will happen to the respective NLUs, where you separately apply to be considered for the NRI seats actually. So that's the process as far as the NRI or NRI sponsored seats are concerned. So here is the list of the NLUs which are providing, and most of them are providing, bearing few, the top two are definitely not there. So NLS Bangalore or Nalsar Hyderabad, they are not providing any seats. But NUJS Kolkata, Jodhpur, even Sonipat, they are providing NRI sponsored seat. Now, for even when you are applying through NRI or NRI sponsored category, remember one thing, that you are required to appear for CLAT 2021. Only NLU Sonipat gives you an option to apply directly for the admissions to these category of seats. So if you apply to NLU Sonipat for the NRI category or NRI sponsored category, you are not required to take CLAT 2021. For all the other national universities, you are required to take CLAT 2021. So you'll be getting two different ranks as the case may be. So once you have filled the state, your personal information is complete. Remember, it's good to save your draft time to time, because if you want to fill the form tomorrow, you may do it tomorrow. The previous information is already captured over there. System will definitely prompt you. So keep saving draft in between actually. So that will help for any technical reasons. If you log out, then still your data has been captured till that point of time. Now, next comes communication details. Here, you have to key in your correspondence address. You have to select your state from the drop down. You have to type your district and the PIN code. Your correspondence address could be same as your permanent address, or both of them could be different. Now, this is not the most important part, because all the communication as far as consortium is concerned will be doing through the text messages or at maximum email actually. So your email which you have given in the registration is definitely an important aspect, and your mobile number, here you have to give your mobile number. All the notifications will be sent to that mobile number. Now, please ensure that whichever number you are submitting in the CLAT application form, you definitely retain that number. It should not be someone else's number. There have been instances last year where people called up that my email ID has got changed for some reason, or my parents' email ID has got changed for some reason. So kindly avoid such situations. Give the email ID which you intend to use for a longer time frame, at least till the entire CLAT process and the admission process is completed. Give the mobile number which you definitely intend to use for next 1 year. So that would be the time frame, a safe time frame actually. You are also supposed to give an alternate contact number. That is mandatory, but remember, all the notifications will come to the main number, which is the applicant number actually. Now, in the applicant number, it is not necessary that you give your own number. You may give your parents' number. I'm sure they will be sharing the information as and when received. So you can do that. If you already have a mobile with yourself and you don't have any plans to change the number, please use your number out there, but definitely try to retain the number for a longer duration. Do not take any chances. So this part is really, really simple, nothing to worry about over here. Next comes the qualifying exam details. Now, what is qualifying exam? Qualifying exam is the last qualification. Basically, they mean class 12th. Now, your case may be either you are appearing for the board examination or you have already passed the board examination. So you gave your class 12th board in 2020 or maybe earlier, like me, or you are appearing for the board examination in 2021. In some of the cases, the person may have already appeared for the board examination. That is what they are assuming. So you have to select accordingly from the different drop downs given out there. So you have to select your stream of study. You may be from science, you may be from commerce, you may be from humanities or arts. Between humanities and arts, don't get too much of, don't let confusion set in actually. So they are treated equally. You can select whatever you want actually. There's a lot of confusion out there in the form actually, but it's interchangeable. Don't worry. As far as the Indian education system is concerned, it's interchangeable. So wherever literature is involved, basically we treat that as humanity. Rest everything is considered as arts, but it is interchangeable. So not much to worry about here. So they'll not mind whatever you select. And if you belong to a board where there could be a other category, then you select others out there. So these are the options given in the qualifying exam drop down category. Then board and university, whatever board or university, for example, students from the state of Maharashtra, where there is a junior college concept, and there are other states where you have a junior college concept, your institution might be affiliated to a university actually. So you have to type the name of the respective board or university from where you are appearing for your class 12th board examination. Okay. The third point is you have to select from the drop down whether you have appeared or are appearing for the board examination, or you have already passed the board examination. So if you have passed the board examination, you can select the month of passing from the drop down as the case may be. But even if you're appearing for board 2021, your class 12th is in 2021, then from the drop down, select accordingly. Now, we all know, for example, CBSE has done an announcement that the exam would be starting in the month of May and would continue till month of June. So it is more likely that the results would come out somewhere around end June or maybe first week of July. So July is the tentative time. So for all the students who are from CBSE board, you can select your month of passing as July and year of passing as 2021. So whether you have if you have appeared already, it may be 2020 or maybe 2021. I am sure 2021 would be the case. If you are appearing for the board examination in the coming month, select the tentative result timing from the month drop down, and your year of passing definitely becomes 2021. Only if you have passed the class 12th board examination, you need to fill in your percentage. That's not mandatory. But if you have passed, definitely you have to fill your board percentage. So that's something which is quite easy as far as your qualifying exam details are concerned. Now, the most uh, talked about part has been simplified this year, because here it would take a lot of time when it comes to preferences. So this time you are not supposed to give your national or universities preferences. So this time you are supposed to give only your test center preferences. So you are given three choices. You can give your preference number 1, preference number 2, and preference number 3. Most likely you get your preference number 1 allotted, but in some cases it may happen that there are not enough students to conduct the exam in a particular center. Maybe your test center number 1, if you belong to some state or some city where there are not enough CLAT takers, then your test center 2, which is in the preference list, might be allotted to you. So you have to select from the drop down. Not a very difficult task. You have to just figure out which is the nearest city, or if the city you reside in is the center for CLAT as well. So that you have to select from the drop down. Now comes the most important part of the CLAT 2020 application, and that is about university reservations. So as I mentioned earlier, for when you are filling details about your domicile state, so that you are also claiming some sort of benefit if that NLU in that particular state is providing reservations to the students belonging to that particular state. For example, if I talk about Bangalore, NLSIU Bangalore is not providing any reservation as of now. Last year they did try it, but as of now, this is under consideration. It is a subjudicial matter right now. So once the verdict is out, we'll get to know whether they'll continue with reservation or not. But they have retained the intake anyways. Actually, similarly, NLU Jodhpur has no reservations as of now. Actually, for their state students, so everybody is considered to be an all India category student from the respective caste categories as well. If you talk about, but almost every other national university is providing some sort of reservation depending on the category itself. While some may provide reservation to every category of students from that state, some may provide reservation only to certain specific category of students. So let's quickly look at the reservation aspect and try to understand what exactly you have to do here. So let's quickly look at that. Now, once you move to the reservation part, which is almost the final part of the CLAT application process, you'll see all the national universities are listed out there. Now, don't get confused with the listing of the university. They are listed in the order in which they were established over the period of time. So when we talk about different rankings, we definitely place Kolkata above Bhopal, but you can see Bhopal above Calcutta over here. That's the reason, because the order which is given in the CLAT application form is the year of establishment. So the first one to appear on the screen is National University Bangalore. So if you are from the state of Karnataka, you can select the checkbox which is Karnataka domicile. So we don't know as of now whether there will be reservation or not, but if you are from state of Karnataka, do select Karnataka domicile, click on the checkbox. Similarly, a student from the state of Telangana, where Nalsar is located, where you have to select from the drop down whether you are a resident student of Telangana. The moment you select yes, you will be prompted, the screen which will prompt you whether you satisfy the given conditions. Now, for example, to avail the benefit, if you are from the from the state of Telangana, you must be there for at least last 4 years in the last 7 years actually. So that's the domicile criteria, not the usual 10 years time frame or by birth actually. So that's the minimum criteria they are talking about. So in the last 7 years, you should be there for last 4 years. Within that 7 years time frame, you must be there in the state of Telangana for 4 years, and you must have completed your qualifying examination from there. So that will be prompted by the system the moment you'll be selecting yes from the drop down. So same goes for every national university, depending what you have selected earlier as the domicile state. Now, there are a lot of national universities which are providing reservation for the students from the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So as you can see, Bhopal is asking for whether you are a JNK resident. If you are a JNK resident, please click on that checkbox in wherever applicable. Similarly, NUJS Kolkata is asking whether you are a domicile of Jammu and Kashmir. If you are a domicile of Jammu and Kashmir, if you have the domicile certificate already available, please click on that checkbox actually. Now you can see Jodhpur doesn't prompt for anything because it has no reservations at all actually. So the moment for a Chhattisgarh student, he has to select from the drop down whether he belongs to that state or not. So as you can see in my form, I selected some other state, so that not coming in the drop down accordingly. Whether you are a ward of Kashmiri migrant, whether you are a student from Jammu and Kashmir, it doesn't matter whether you stay in the state of Chhattisgarh. But if you are from any of these two categories, as applicable, you must select the checkbox. So JNK residents or domicile of JNK or wards of Kashmiri migrants are definitely getting some sort of benefits in some of the NLUs. So you must accordingly exercise your option. At the same time, if you look at Gandhinagar, you have the option for JNK residents, residents from Northeast India, and sports quota for boys. So from last year, they have put some 2 to 4 seats for the sports quota as well. So if you are into sports, if you have played till national or international level, you must definitely select that checkbox actually. If you are a resident of Northeast India belonging to the 7 sister states, please do select on that checkbox. You get that benefit of reservation in GNLU Gandhinagar. Now, when it comes to Lucknow, there are some other specific reservations other than the reservation applicable for the SC/ST category and OBC category students of those states. 50% of the seats are reserved for them. There are some supernumerary seats also available to the other category of students. It could be wards of Kashmiri migrants or Kashmiri Pandits or Kashmiri Hindu families, non-migrants. It could be sons, daughters of defense personnel deployed in UP. So either retired, killed, or disabled in action. So that is also applicable. or dependents of freedom fighters from the state of Uttar Pradesh. So you have to select if anyone is applicable to you. Same goes for Punjab. So there is a specific reservation for students belonging to the state of, for the village Sidhuwal, which is in district Patiala. Then if you are a resident of Punjab, you get the benefit of that. If you are ward of Kashmiri migrant or JNK resident. So you can see a lot of options being given in the reservation form. You must exercise caution. You must fulfill the eligibility if you're selecting any of the particular checkbox, and so that you avail the benefit. But most important aspect is that you must have your document ready. Whatever eligibility criteria you believe you are fulfilling, you must have your document ready, so that when at the time of admission you are called to produce that document, you are able to do that. Actually, you can't just randomly state that I fulfill this criteria. You have your documents, your domicile certificate, whether you are from the state of Jammu and Kashmir, so accordingly your domicile certificate, whether you are Kashmiri migrant, your certificate should always be ready before you apply for CLAT 2021. So same goes for Kochi. It will ask you whether you are a native of Kerala. Same goes for Odisha and Ranchi. Now, Ranchi has a very specific reservation criteria, domicile criteria. If you have completed your qualifying examination from the state of Jharkhand, so basically, which means if you have given your class 12th board from the state of Jharkhand, or if your parents are employed in central state government in the state of Jharkhand, then you can also avail the benefit as domicile of Jharkhand actually, and if that particular caste category you belong to. So you must accordingly select from the drop down. The moment you will select yes, it will prompt you whether you fulfill the criteria or not. When it comes to Assam, a similar question will appear. When it comes to Vishakhapatnam or Tiruchirappalli, similar question will appear. Now, Mumbai specifically gives supernumerary seats for the children of ex-servicemen, defense service professional. So if you are ward of a defense service professional, please select that checkbox. Now, when it comes to defense services, generally the three wings of the services, Army, Air Force, and Navy are considered and not the paramilitary. So in case of any doubt, you may seek clarification, but that's the standard definition when it comes to defense services professional. The paramilitary forces are not considered over here. Only the three wings, Indian Army, Indian Air Force, and Indian Navy service professionals are considered. Nagpur, Aurangabad, Shimla. Now, when it comes to Sonipat, because the NLU Sonipat is located in the Rajiv Gandhi Educational City, so if you happen to be the landowner in that educational city, or you are a ward of the landowner, your land went for the educational city, the government took over the land in due process, then you have seats available for yourself. You can claim that benefit as well. So that's about reservation. Now, this is the part where you have to be really, really careful. So you must fulfill the domicile criteria of that particular state if you wish to avail the benefit in that particular NLU, which is located in that state. Now, once that part is over, all you have to do is select the checkbox out here, which is the final checkbox, and that's given below the reservation form. So you have to simply select this checkbox out here, and once you have completed that process, you have to submit your form. So my request to all of you would be that do not rush through the form. Please take your own sweet time. You have enough time. You got time till 31st of I would say you have got time till 31st of March as of now. I'm sure that would be extended. The dates are going to change, so you don't need to worry. Though it's all speculation, I always believe in official notifications, but CLAT initial notification did mention 9th of May, but subject to change. So it will depend on the conditions at that point of time. But I'm sure board will be considered as one of the criteria to change actually. So that would be the simple process. And after you have submitted your form, you need to make the payment online itself. Now, There's an important process after that. Once you have submitted your form, you need to re-log in once again. So once you have made the payment and everything, log out, and you need to re-log in once again. And on the home page itself, you have to verify your email address. So that's another important step which is out there. So please verify your email address, and that would take care of the entire process. So I'm sure after removing the NLU preference part, the CLAT form has become quite simpler this year. You won't have any issues. And you can always go back to this video, which will be available on the YouTube. And from here onwards, you can always come back to this video and check if you have any confusions, any sort of confusions about any particulars. And while still you may, some of you may still have some confusions, you need not worry. I'm always available. You can reach me out. So on this email ID, I'll be glad to answer any queries which you have. So for the moment, please remember the timelines. The application process is already started. As of now, the last date to apply is 31st March. And the exam is scheduled as per the official notification on May 9th. But as I said, it is subject to change. Okay. So that would be all. That's a very simple process as far as CLAT 2021 UG applications are concerned. Please do reach out to me in case you have still any qualification, any confusion as far as the form is concerned in any particulars. I'll be glad to help. So that's the way you can reach out to me. Do write to me actually. Okay, thank you so much. And once again, I wish you all the best for CLAT 2021 and all the law entrances. We'll keep meeting. We'll do such sessions in future. Once the IELTS forms are notified, we'll be doing that. And for every other important one, we'll be doing the sessions. Thank you so much.